What changes when we exercise? To perform this activity, you will need the View heart rate sensor. Children are required to measure their heart rate at rest, normal, and then after exercise, and then again after a few minutes rest. Time organisation of the class is critical. If you get a backlog while taking measurements, the effects of the exercise will be lost as children recover quickly. Ask the children about exercise activity and how they feel after it. For example, getting hotter, feeling tired, heart beating harder. With older children, discuss how many people run really fast or slow and how many about the same. You are building the idea that there is a spread of ability and that data does not always give a direct answer but can point to a probability. The learning exercises covered in this activity are science activities and methods, number and counting, quantity, collecting data and drawing tables of data, describing and comparing, using time to define an activity period. Connect the heart rate sensor to View. Check in meters that its range is set to beats per minute, BPM. Connect View to a computer and open the EasySense software. Select either pictogram or meters. In Options, reduce the scale for heart rate, for example to a minimum of 60 and a maximum of 160, so the scale is 10 beats per minute per block. Use yourself to demonstrate and show how the sensor is used. Attach the sensor to your fingertip, sit still, and once the red LED is flashing regularly, click on Start. Note the reading. Ask one of the children to volunteer to be connected to the sensor. Use the data from yourself and the class volunteer to start a talk about how everyone is different and will give different numbers. To be different is normal. It's called variation. Outline the exercise routine and how the test is going to be completed. Ask the children to record their heart rate before they exercise and write it down. This is the resting value. As soon as possible after exercise, repeat the measurement and record the value. After 5 minutes, repeat the measurement once again. Use the numbers collected to work out differences of value. For older children, try to collect data from the whole class. Maybe divide the class into groups, measuring pulse, temperature or breathing. You can then run a circus of activities, including using a stop clock to count breathing in 30-second intervals and measuring body temperature, ideally using a non-contact thermometer. Although the activity is about measuring heart rate, the data collected can be used to teach variation and a normal value. Introduce the idea of everyone being the same but different, and that in reality differences are minimal. Find the highest and lowest pulse numbers to mark on the upper and lower limits of the graph, and place the pulse numbers on the number line or axis divided into class numbers, e.g. 70 to 71, 72 to 3, 74 to 5, etc. Enter the data and hopefully you should produce a bell-shaped diagram with a few outriders and a tall centre peak. This will demonstrate that the majority of people are the same.